Hi, welcome to another video on Excel. And in this video, we are going to be looking at how can we use Excel to answer certain business questions or basically using Excel to analyze our data. Some of the questions we want to answer is, for example, how many employees are above the age of 30, or we want to find out what are the salary or total salary that we are paying in the IT department. We want to find out what is the second highest salary being paid in the company. So these are some of the analysis that we want to do, or these are some of the questions that we want to answer. And how are we going to be doing that? We are going to be doing that using these seven formulas. What I've done is I've given I've hyperlinked each of these to the different sheets that's available here, so that you can quickly refer to these sheets or formulas. What I've also done is for each of these questions, so for example, if I click on this, it is going to take me to that particular formula that we have used to solve this particular question. And before we start jumping into the formula, let me also quickly show you the data that we are going to be using. So this is the employee data of Triboro Solutions. We have information like the employee ID, the name, gender, department, the age. So this is some of the information that is currently available. And what I've done is there are two separate files. One is with the answers, so each of these will have the answers, and another one is a blank workbook that you can download and work or practice along during this session. So let's start answering these questions. All right. So the first question that we want to answer is how many people are working in the finance department. So if I click on this, so the formula that we are going to be using is COUNTIF. So what are the questions that we want to answer using this question? One is how many people are working in finance department, how many employees are above 30 years of age, and how many female employees are working in the HR department. So these are the questions that we want to answer, and we can find the answer or derive the answer using the count if or the count ifs formula. I'm sure most of you are aware that there are other ways of getting this information in Excel. There are more than two ways of doing something. So one of the other ways to get this information is using the filter, and the shortcut key to apply a filter is Control Shift L. If I do that, I get the filters here. So the first is how many people are working in finance department. So how do I do that? Where do I search? So I go to the departments here, and here I search for finance. Click OK, and I've got the answer. So that's four. Where do I also see this? One is you can see here, or you can also see at the bottom here. It says 4 of 20. So total you have 20 records. Of that, four are the filtered ones. So this is one way of finding it out. Let's look at the formula. So the formula, let me delete this. The formula is count equal to equal to count if. And let's look at the syntax. So it requires two things. One is the range, the other one is criteria. Range is where are you looking for this information, and the criteria is what is it that you're looking for. Range is where is it that you're looking for, and what is it that you're looking for. So we want to count people who are working in finance department, number of people who are working in finance department. So I'm going to search here. This is where I'm searching, comma. So I've done with my range, comma, criteria. What am I searching for here? I put that in inverted quotes, double inverted quotes, finance, and I close my quotes, close brackets, hit enter. Got four. Now, is there any other way? So instead of typing in the formula or typing in the criteria here, is there any other way for us to get this? Yes, of course. And that is, so for example, I'm going to type in my department here. Now, what I'm going to do is instead of you typing it or hard coding it in the formula, I'm going to call this or reference it from here. So let's look at that. So is equal to count if. How do I? So I go down. I use the arrow keys to go down. Press the tab key to select it. Where is my range? My range is here, comma. Earlier we typed in inverted quotes. So now I'm going to select it because I have that information here. So I'm going to select it from here, close bracket, and I'm done. Now, the advantage of using it or calling it from another cell is if I change this, for example, I want to find out for IT, all I need to do is change it here and I can get the IT. Or I can change HR. Looks like all the employees are the same. Maybe I'm going to just change one of this and you can see that it changes. So this is another way of using this formula. And we use this with the text, which is finance. Now let's see, can we also use this with numbers? So in this second question, we want to find out how many employees are above 30 years of age. So that is what we want to do. So where do I have to search? So let me remove this filter, so that done. So we have the age here, so this is where I need to search. And what do I need to search? I need to search about 30. So let's look at the formula. So is equal to count if, where is my range? My range is here, comma, in inverted quotes, I use the operator greater than 30, close my inverted quotes, close brackets, and then. So we have 10 employees who are above 30 years of age who are working in our company. So all of this is singled out. And again, if you want to call reference it from a cell, so I'm just going to put this greater than 10 here, sorry, greater than 30, not 10, greater than 30 there. And then I'm going to reference this. So count if my criteria is where the criteria is here. I'm going to press Control Shift down, comma, and my criteria, I have defined that here. So I'm going to select it from here, and it's done. Now if I want to change, maybe I want to find out people who are less than, so I just change it here, less than 30. Let's see how many employees do we have. We have 9 employees who are less than 30. So in both of these, if you see, the number of criteria was only 1. But is it possible to use with multiple criterias? Absolutely, and that is what we have here. So here, what do we want to find out? We want to find out how many female employees are working in the HR department. Right, so we have the HR department and we have the gender here. So we are going to be searching for, or no, searching for criteria in these two departments. First I'm going to be searching in the department, and then I'm going to be searching in gender. So for that we need to use the count ifs. So whenever you have multiple criterias, or whenever you want to search for multiple criteria, then you have to use the count ifs function. So press the tab, and the first criteria, what do I want to search? I want to search, I can either go with department or gender. So I'm going to just go with gender here. Here, what do I want to search? Here, I want to search for female. That's done. So first I selected in this range. Here, what am I searching for? Here I'm searching for female. Next, what do I need? I need the HR, people working in HR department. So then I select my range to. So if you see here, it is telling me the range to. So here, comma, what am I searching for? I'm searching for, in inverted quotes, I put HR, close brackets, and done. What does this mean? This means we have 2 female employees who are working in the HR department. Again, you can reference this information from a different cell, and let me help you with that, female and HR department. So now I have the information here, and I'm going to call these in my formula from here. So count tips, my first range here, comma, my first criteria is this, comma, my second range is here, comma, my criteria is here, those brackets, and you can see we've got that answer. And then if I change this to male, you can see we have 2. And let's see if we have the same set of people who are working there. Looks like I'm going to change this to HR, male in, sorry, so we're going to change that. What was the information that we had? Female, right? We're going to make this male, and you can see that it is changing. So you can reference it from the cells. So that's one way. It makes it more dynamic, because then you don't have to go ahead and change the criteria inside the formula. You just need to change it here. So that's about count ifs. Let's move ahead and look at the sum if, or the sum if and the sum ifs. I want to find out what is the total salary that we are paying in the IT department. So I'm going to use this is equal to sum if, and where is the range? So what do I want the total of? I want the total of salary in for the IT department. So I'm going to select my department. This is the range, comma, here. What do I want to look? So first, where am I looking? Second, what am I looking for? Here I'm looking for IT. And when I find that, I want the sum of the salary. So that is the sum range. So my sum range is the salary here. I select that and I'm done. So this means we are paying 193,000 or 1,93,000 as the total salary in the IT department. Let's just validate that by using a filter. So I'm just going to go to the department and search for IT, and then I'm going to select the salary here, and you can see 193,000 or 1,93,000 is what we're paying. Let's look at so this is for single criteria. Now I want to look at two conditions. One is who are above 30, or sorry, age below 30, and who are working in the operations department. So in this case, since there are multiple criteria, I'm going to be using the sum ifs. First, I'm going to be searching again. In this case, if you see the difference between the sum if and the sum ifs, here in sum ifs, the sum range is coming first, which means first I need to select what do I want the sum of. Let's look at the sum if formula is equal to sum if. If you see here, the sum range is at the end. After I'm done with all my the range and the criteria, then I need to put the sum range. But in sum ifs, first I need to select the sum range. So I want to find out again total salary. So first I'm going to select my salary range here, comma, first criteria. I want to find out, one is they're working in the operations department. So I go to the department here, comma, in inverted quotes operations, and similar to counter, we can also reference this from different set. Okay. Next criteria is the age. So I'm going to go here, and in this, what am I searching for? There should be less than 30. That inside inverted quotes, close my inverted quotes and hit enter. So the total salary that we are paying in the operations department for employees below the age of 30 is 63,000. Now let's look at the next question, which is the average if. Change the color and make it black. Okay. I want to find out what is the average salary of married employees in the HR department. Here, how many criteria are there? There are two. One is married employees and who are working in the HR department. So I'm going to use average ifs. First again, so if you see here, average range. What do I want the average of? I want to find out the average of the salaries, right? So I'm going to select this here, comma, of married employees. So I'm going to search where is that. That is here, comma, what is my criteria? Married, comma, in HR department. So then I'm going to select here, comma, in this I'm searching for the HR. So the average salary that we are paying for married employees in the HR department is 32. Next, I want to find out what is the average age of employees with more than 8 years of experience. Okay, so in this case, again, average, since there are multiple criteria, average ifs. So I want to find out the average age of employees. So I'm going to select my average age, comma, of employees who are working in marketing and more than 8 years. Okay, then I'm going to search for 8 years of work experience, right? So I've selected my average age, comma, my experience is here, comma, what is my criteria here? It should be greater than 8, greater than 8, comma, next is working in the marketing department. So where is that? So my department is here, comma, what is the criteria here? Marketing, and done. So the average age of employees with more than 8 years of experience is 45. In this question, I want to find out what is the highest salary among female employees and in the operations department. Again, so here there are two conditions that we are looking at, and we want to find out what is the maximum salary. So max ifs is what we are going to use. And first, max range, what do I want the total or max of? I want for this salary, comma, the first criteria. So criteria range one, I'm looking for females and operations department. So gender, I'm going to choose gender here, and the criteria is female, comma, next is the department. In here I want operations, operations. This is the maximum salary that we are paying for females in the operations department. The next thing is I want to find out what is the lowest age. Okay, so in this case, we are going to use the MINIFS, lowest age among employees with a master's degree in IT department. So again, lowest age. So I'm going to select my age here, comma, employees with master's degree. So criteria range, I'm going to choose here. And if you remember, like we did earlier, what is it? So master's is anything that begins with an M. So M star. Close my quotes, comma. The next one is who are working in the IT department. So I'm going to select my department, comma, in quotes IT, and this is the lowest age or the lowest age of employee with a master's degree who's working in the IT department. Let's move on and look at the small and the large. So here, what is it that I want to answer? I want to find out what is the second highest salary paid in the company. So if you want to find out the highest, we are going to use the max function. But here we want to find out the second highest. So in this case, we are going to use the large function, large and salary. So I'm going to select my salary range here, comma, the criteria. So if I want to find out the third largest, I'm going to put 3. If I want to find out the fifth largest, I'm going to put 5. In this case, I want the second largest, so I'm just going to put 2, those brackets. So 65,000 is the highest salary, the second highest salary that we are paying. Just by looking at this data, we can see that 70,000 is the highest that we are paying. And how do we find that? We use the max function just to validate this. I'm going to select this, and you can see that 70,000 is what we're paying. So like large, now if I want to find out what is the smallest, in that case, so I would use the small. Third smallest age is, I'm going to select the age group, comma. I want the third largest, so I'm going to put, sorry, third smallest, so I'm going to put 3 and hit enter. So 25 is the third smallest age that we have. And if I want to find out the age, lowest age, that is 24. I'm going to use the min function, and here I'm going to use a small function. We're going to solve the next set of questions, and that is I want to find out what is the salary of Rajesh Singh. And in this case, we are going to be using the XLOOKUP to solve these questions. So let's look at the syntax. So is equal to XLOOKUP. What is my lookup value? So similar to our VLOOKUP. So this is my lookup value. Now the only difference is in VLOOKUP, we have to choose the complete array or the table. In this case, this particular information, the lookup value is available in which column? This is the name, so it's available in this column. So I choose that. So that is my lookup array. Once you have done that, the next thing it is return array. So when you find this information, what is it that you want to return? In this case, what do I want to return? I want to return the salary. So I select my salary column, and that's it. So Rajesh Singh, let's confirm that Rajesh Singh, 45,000. Let's move on. I want to find out what is the age of Priyanka Singh. So again, X lookup. What is my lookup value here, comma? Where is this available? It's available in this column. And what do I want to return? I want to return the age. So I select this, and I'm done. So where's Priyanka Jain, and age 34. Let's look at the last example, which is I want to find out the designation of employee 112. So is equal to X lookup. My lookup value, comma. Where is this available? That's available here, comma, the return arrow. So once you find that, what do you want to return? I want to return the designation, and where is that? That's here. And HR executive is 112. Let's see that HR executive. Let us try and answer the last set of business questions that we have. And what do we want to do? First, I want to list out all employees with a salary of about 55,000. If we had to do this traditionally, what would we do? We would apply the filter first, and the shortcut key is Control Shift L, and then I would go to salary and number filters greater than 55,000, and you can immediately see the problem that we have. It's already filtered out, and then I would copy this and then paste it. So this is how we would do this. And what Excel has done is the new version, which is the Office 365, they introduced the filter formula or function. And let us see how does that work. So is equal to filter, and let's assume I want to get, in this case, what do I want? I want the list of employees, so I would select this. Let's assume you also wanted the name, gender and department, so I would select like this. In this case, since I want only the list of employees, I'm going to select this, comma. What do I want? Where do I want to apply the filter? Salary above 55,000. So I'll go to salary, and here I'm going to put my condition inside the formula itself, greater than 55,000. And it gives me the list of employees who've got a salary of above 55,000. And here what we want to do is, here if you see, there are multiple criteria, so basically multiple filters that we have to apply. One is we have to filter on the gender, female. The next is IT department, so I want to apply filter on these two. One is the gender of female and IT department, so these are the two filters that I need to apply. And what do I want to return? I want to return the employee, so I want to get the employee names here. So let's see how does this work. So it's equal to filter. What is it that I want to return? I want to return the name of employees, comma. Now the only difference is here, since there are two, I'm going to open bracket, and then first criteria is IT departments, or rather female. So let me select this. So here, what is it? Here it is female. Close my bracket, and I'm going to use a star. Why star? Because it is and a condition that we are trying to use. Then I select, open my bracket. The next set of conditions, I choose my department, and here it is equal to IT, close brackets, and done. So these are the two employees who are females who are working in the IT department. Let's validate that. This Priyanka Jain and Nidhi Kapoor, right? I'm going to go here, email in the IT department, and you can see Priyanka Jain and Nidhi Kapoor. So that is how you can use Excel to analyze your data or answer some of those business questions. I hope you found the formulas and the video useful. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up so that others can also find this video. And the way forward is, I would request you to practice whatever you learned using the workbooks that I've shared. Once again, the link to download the workbook is in the description. So please go ahead and try and answer those questions or practice with that workbook. And if you feel stuck somewhere, please do comment, and I will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Thank you so much once again, and have a Excel life.